Okay, it's been a little while since our last video, and I've got a good mate of mine asking about a Hygain 5 at the moment, and the one I've found is not probably what he's after, but I happened to find this and I thought this might make a bit of an interesting video. Right, I just took some of the dust off it actually. I thought, this looks a lot more dustier than I'd like it to. Still got spray and wipe on it, sorry. Anyway, thought we'd get rid of some of the dust. So, I'm on 27155, which obviously is this fella here, and actually I wanted to use my new test monitor. It's the thing I didn't set up. I've been in bed for days, long story, but let me see if I can just rearrange things a little bit here very quickly, because wouldn't mind firing up the new one. Okay, so now you're going to learn my three definitions of beauty. Now, one is obviously my beautiful wife, because that is just a clear-cut display of beauty. Two is my cars. I definitely think they're beautiful. Different ones, obviously. The C1 1959 Corvette's probably my favourite. And don't worry about me, I'm just putting in a couple of frequencies here, just to be able to do a couple of things here. And number three would be an R2670 analyzer. Now this comes from the R2600 series. Don't worry about the screen, the way that sort of my aperture setting here, but these are one beautiful unit. They really are. And I need to say a big thank you. Unfortunately, I can't disclose who the thank you is to. That's been at his request. And but this is a beautiful piece of equipment, and I am forever thankful. We've got at the moment we got done for two dodgy 2000s. One there, been able to fix one sort of, but we've still got problems, and another one there. Anyway, and just you know, sometimes, you know, as I say, there's some really good people out there, and fantastic, but there are also some terrible people, and just be careful out there when you're buying stuff, of course. But anyway, won't say too much on here about that, because I'm literally so happy about the 2670 here. This is a full digital unit, and the great thing about that is that, you know, you really are talking a very high spec unit that can do so much. And as you can see, I'm just putting a bit of transmit into it at the moment, and we go in. Don't mind me. It's been a while since I've been into a one of these, as you're probably telling. Okay, RF in and out. We're in the right spot there. Obviously, you can go over to the antenna as well, but we just want RF in and out. And then we want to come across over to wrong there. And we want to, God, it's been a while since I've been in one of these. That should bring up our swoop gen bar graphs. Actually, that'll do just for now. Let's just have a look here. What am I feeding in at the moment? Don't mind me for 2 seconds. I'll just memorise a couple of features in my head for a second here. Okay, after a bit of mucking around, starting to remember how to use one of these things. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2. Anyway, we'll come back to the monitor side of things. After I've had a bit more of a play, I've literally forgotten a couple of things on the 2600 series, which we'll get back to that. But the high range, now notice the difference here. It's a Hygain product, but it was actually called the Hyrange V, and that was because they're a bit like the 674B, was it? Or are they? I'm trying to remember now. Hang on, let me just turn this around, where they had the octal socket. 674 something, I think they were. So the 674, but I reckon there was an A that didn't have this octal socket. So the 674 is the one you want to be able to put this VFO onto it. So if I've got that, my memory's working correctly. And the great thing about it was that apart from me needing a lesson on 2600 series again, but obviously, no, we've got it there going. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, is that they had this ability of, and you got to go back to the days where 23 channels, crystal, it just was what it was, absolutely. So pretty much you were stuck with 23 channels unless you wanted to start cutting crystals, or you could do this. You took this radio here, went to the EX, turned the VFO on, and guess what? Look at that, you're still on the same frequency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. I've got to work out, I've got the bandwidth wrong on that at the moment. That's why it's not hearing it too well. It's definitely an AM, but yeah, I've got a little bit of playing around. I'll have a play with that tonight. I wanted to get to it yesterday, it was just too crook, but anyway. But yeah, you're getting a bit of an idea just what they do. And as you can see on the sideband signal there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Now the 2670 doesn't resolve sideband, so that's not a big issue for 90% of what we do here. But what you'll start to notice here is this is your way up to, say, channel, oh, let's go up, oh, that's 27.4, so 355, around there somewhere. Now if we were to put in here, we'll change that to 355, we'll see the spectrum analyzer is not far off it there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I go AM just for the particular thing we're trying to do there, we can see that we're not quite on it. Hang on. So we move that VFO and we keep an eye on that spectrum analyzer at the same time. Can I do both? Oh, I don't know. Probably not going to see that very well. But as you can see, I'm moving the VFO, and look at that. I can put myself on. Let's put on bound 27355. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So suddenly, I've got a radio that now can cover the whole 40 channels. And back in the day, oh, this was mind-blowing. You know, like, I know, nowadays, no. Things have moved on a bit. But this really was a very, very interesting way that you could get your crystal radio to have this VFO system on it. And also, obviously, it allowed you to do split channels, allowed you to do really anything. And I think, let's just see how far that goes up. Now, if I put it right on the edge there, I'm going to guess that's around about 27... around 500 or so. It's probably a bit further. We'll be able to see on the spectrum analyzer. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, where is that? It's more like about 27.6 then. Let's have a look. Frequency count would be far easier, but oh no, sorry, no, it's not. It's more like 4. Come back. Sorry, more like 440 or so. Try that. Yeah, oh, there we go. Okay, so you're only getting about an extra 40 kcs by coming above there. So not a great, you know, I suppose the big ability is for it to be able to get to 355 there, and 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, we're on 440 there, and we're way off. If we put that back to 355, that'd be pretty close. Not quite, but as you can see, we can just have a bit of a play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. We're back on 27.355. So this was definitely another way of, back in the 1970s, of getting your way up, or yourself up to channel 35 and certainly up to channel 40 quite easily. This was obviously not typically legal. It's certainly not legal here in Australia, hence I'm on dummy load at the moment. But you know what? It's a real nice collector's item because you know, you've got the Hyrange mic. It's all branded correctly. I got this off a really good mate of mine, Alan, down in I always think of the Alan. I'm going to remember. It's just outside of Melbourne. Oh, come on. Oh, well, it'll come back to me. Anyway, mate, you know who you are. Alan, his missus, great people, caught up with them a number of times. And I bought this off him years ago just for a demo unit, just to have in the museum as an example of, you know, Hygain and what, you know, they were doing back in the day. And as we're starting to move on a lot of the CB collection stuff, at least, I'm still keeping a fair bit of ham, and I'm keeping the odd bit that I like in CB, of course, for myself. But a lot of the collection stuff is going. So this will be up for sale. It's really for the collector who loves that piece of history. That, you know, and Glenn, I'm not sure if this is for you. You know, potentially it's a 23 channel Hygain, sure, that you're looking for, but it's so much more than that. And I'm not sure I've got. I think we've got rid of just about all the Hygains that were any good. Unfortunately, now we're down to the high range radios. I do have a very, very nice digital dial high range, not my boxed one. That one is one that stays with me for life, but I've got another one which was the 2795 is the one we're keeping. I think it's the 2790 Hygain. So Glenn, look that up. That's another one that's a real, you know, sort of very unique sort of radio, and we might do a video on that and just show you a bit about that. Very, very similar to the video we did on the 2795, if you go back through the videos, Glenn, to have a look. Anyway, but generally, you know, I suppose we're waiting for the excitement. What else did this do? Not much else. No, I'm sorry. They were typical sideband radio that, you know, did your channels, etc., etc. Now I've got to come off VFO, and then I'm back to just a normal 23 channel. And like this radio, I would think would be, you know, quite legal. Unfortunately, because of the lack of type approval, well, that would be interesting. That probably lacks type approval too. This definitely lacks type approval. So in Australia, you know, if you're a collector, you just need to cover your butt a bit and, you know, just think about what you're buying. And I think most people are buying this more for the collection than they are for, you know, an everyday radio. And radio inspectors understand that. They're not over the top, but certainly they are definitely, you know, cognizant of the fact of what's type approved and what's not. Anyway, we'll get into this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a calibrate on this. I noticed when it came up, and there were a couple of other things it's sort of not doing, and so I'm going to go through that. But to my mate that sent this down, look, huge thank you. Look, it's doing what it needs to do, don't get me wrong. But it'll just be go through and, you know, run the calibrate, and you know, sort of it'll want a 50 ohm load for that too. Yeah, etc., etc. So I'll run the calibrate after in a second, and but look, I'm really limited what I can say on this one. But what I do want to say is that this will stay here for life. This was donated to me because somebody was aware of just what happened and how much and how badly yeah. Anyway, and I really appreciate all your help, because you're just a great person, and the other person, as far as I'm concerned, you won't be hearing from me. It's no issue. I'm not gonna, you know, not gonna try and chase or anything silly. I honestly don't have that much time left on the planet to be chasing people. But, you know, maybe consider next time just your actions, and, you know, some people can't afford to lose, you know, that sort of money. And by the way, I offered to pay for this and etc. You know, but just very, very good mate who just was like, no. And we do favours for each other, sure, but this is one of the larger favours, you know. But I really did want a 2670. I just, and he knew that, and just that was just so lovely. So when you're out there thinking that, you know, hams aren't a brotherhood, they are. They definitely are. Like any brotherhood, you'll get the odd one that, yep, maybe doesn't toe the line completely, but don't worry about that, because the goodness of the hearts of the others will always make up for the one that, you know, doesn't quite do the right thing, and that's okay, you know. And I'm not bitter. I'm not really bitter. And thank you, Tanya, as well too, for everything in regards to, you know, what you did too. By the way, good things. Tanya really helped me out as well with getting some units down here and some stuff. And so Tanya, you're a legend, absolutely. All right, well, this will come up for sale, so please just keep an eye out for it. We ran a whole lot of stuff last night. Finally got out of bed, and I thought, well, I need to do something. And literally all the radios sold last night. I was amazed. Just everything went. Just by 1 o'clock in the morning, it was all gone. A couple of little accessory pieces. Oh, even the tuners went. That's right. No, I think there was like one bass microphone that hasn't sold out of 7 items we put up last night. So, you know, thank you very much for the support with that. I'm sorry we haven't got much up lately. I'm going to try. I've got Sam in surgery this week. It's not me in surgery this week. It's Sam, would you believe it? So you can imagine I'm a little bit worried about her at the moment. I just want, you know, her to be okay, because, my whole life crumbles. People talk about the cars and, you know, the new Corvette and all that. No, trust me, I am absolutely lost without that woman. I would swap every bit of it to keep her healthy. And just so you know, not anything life-threatening going on with Sam, just some woman stuff. You know how probably said too much then. Anyway, but yes, you know, sort of. Anyway, so enough on that. She will be fine. She's going to need a few days to recover. So I'll be playing nurse, hopefully. You know, do as good a job as I can. And she reckons I'm great at looking after her. I reckon I'm shit at it, to be honest. I think, you know, can always do better as a male, no question. But anyway, all right. Well, that's the Hyrange 674 made by Hygain with the 500 kilohertz. Well, not quite 400 kilohertz VFO, 440 kilohertz. We worked out, I suppose. And so what I didn't mention, there is a calibrate on there, so you can set your calibration up. And it makes it so these increments do actually make some sense to you versus guessing where you are on frequency and having to do what I was doing with the spectrum analyzer up there. So please, yeah, sorry, I should have. Anyway, you'll get the idea. If anyone's interested in this, email Brenton at posnav.com.au. You know, most know my mobile to SMS on 0418 844 700. And of course, we'll run our normal ads. That tends to be the trick. Subscribers get a first look at this stuff, but generally most stuff goes to the you know, the general public, and sometimes that's the subscribers, sometimes it's not. I like to get this stuff early to you just in case it's on your wish list. And like Glenn, I'll send a copy of this video to just to show him, you know, what's out there. And Glenn, I might send you a photo of that other one too, the 40 channel with it's a digital readout complete. The 2790 is a very different layout to the Hygain 5, and I don't think that's what you're after either. I think you're looking for, actually, you don't probably want this, you probably just want a 23 channel Hygain 5, but this might make you very, very tempted. Don't know, Glenn. All right, guys, 73s, thanks very much. Look, appreciate all the good wishes while I was in hospital last week, and look, the news has got out. Yes, they did find me, and it wasn't great. But hey, anything that they bring you back to life, you know, the little thing on my chest worked. So hey, that's good news. All right, guys, 73s. Thanks very much. Cheers.